Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Guns and Yellow Ribbons preview podcast. My good friend Fergus and myself, Ilsey, tonight. We're going to look forward to the weekend's FA Cup games. We're going to look forward to the Arsenal's game against Wigan, and we're going to talk about Brentford last night. But when we do come back after these intros, I just need to have a word with all of you. It's been a bit of a sad couple of days. Come on, you Gunners.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Evening, Trevor. The microphone is all yours.
Everybody. Sadly, we've got to start this show tonight with some bad news and just a bit of respect. We have to start tonight's podcast by paying our most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Gunnar Lulu, who was sadly passed away. She was only known to us on social media, but was a very well-liked member of that community. It's very clear from the emotion shown by many people today that she was very much loved and will be sadly missed by many. Rest in peace, Gunnar Lulu. Now, Gunnar Lulu has got some wonderful friends on social media, and a lady that knew her well called Roxy on X. I reached out to her today, and she just sent me back these words, and I'm just going to read it word for word. Lou was amazing in person and on X. She was loved by me, Roxy D27, and the whole of the Arsenal family. The love shown has been beautiful. Thank you for the kind-hearted messages. They mean a lot. Keeping her love of the Arsenal going in her memory. Let's take each game as they come and meet for the big celebration come May. Love to Lou and Sheila, who sadly also passed away recently, two of the best Goonerettes around. Sadly taken. A win on Sunday. Much love always. Roxy, up the rip roaring Gunners. So all Roxy and all the rest of Lou's friends and family, we send our condolences. And she's in our thoughts tonight, folks. She's in our thoughts.
Absolutely. No, well said. Well said. Roxy, and well said you, Trevor. My condolences to both. We covered Sheila last week. We, again, as you said, none of us knew him personally. We knew them on Twitter sphere or X sphere or whatever it's called. But yeah, they were good people, and it was just a shame that so soon. Like Sheila was the 1st of February, and it's like less than a couple of weeks later that her good friend Lulu goes as well.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad. Anyway, Ferg, we have to move on because that's what people have to do, right? We move on. And today was another very special day for an ex-Arsenal player. Liam Brady, 70th birthday today. Now, that makes me feel old. Liam Brady, one of the finest players I've ever seen put a pair of boots on and play for the Arsenal. In the mid-70s, when we had some tough seasons, Brady just stood head and shoulders above and kept us maybe in the league. Who knows, Played 307 times for the Arsenal, 76 times for Juventus, 57 times for Sampdoria, 58 times for Inter. And I didn't really realise he played this many games, Ferg, but he played about 90 games for West Ham at the end of his career, And he went there and he played some good football. So, got 72 Republic of Ireland caps, and obviously the scorer of the iconic goal in the 5-0 win at White Hart Lane many years ago. He was a massive shining light in what was an average mid-70s Arsenal team. Happy 70th birthday, Chippy. And I've been told he's called Chippy, not because he could chip the ball, but because he loved fish and chips, right? But he was wonderful, Liam Brady, and I hope he's had a wonderful day, Ferg.
My dad and my eldest brother met him in Dublin Airport when we were coming back from holidays sometime in 1978. My brother got his finger caught in the conveyor belt and lost the tip. Well, he didn't lose it, but the tip of his finger came off. And then Liam Brady's there, and my dad's trying to get an autograph with my brother's finger like this, and they're off in an ambulance. Yeah. So anyway, just one of those strange stories. Listen,
Great story, actually.
We had a bit of a change in lineup last night. We'll talk about the Brentford game to start off with, I suppose.
Yeah,
a bit of a change in lineup. Saliba wasn't available due to illness, and then we had. Everything's disappeared. We had Raya Timber Mosquera rather than Saliba. Gabriel Hincapié Rice, Zubamendi, Eze instead of Odegaard, Madueke instead of Saka, Trossard and Gyökeres. So it was quite a changed lineup. I wasn't worried. I'm quite pleased to see Madueke on the pitch at the moment. I think he's probably the in-form winger. And Mosquera, there was two incidents in the game. The first one, and both of them were with his name's just gone out of my brain. I have got him on my notes here.
What are you talking about now?
There was two occasions where he was skinned. The first time he went down and he jumped back up again, Mosquera, and Gabriel got him out of trouble. The second time, it was a great interception from Thiago against Thiago. He had a great game, I thought, Mosquera. What did you think of the lineup?
Yeah, it was. I was surprised to see Eze in, but obviously Odegaard's been injured, so he was on the bench. And then of course we saw Mosquera come in for Saliba. I didn't have a care in the world about that because we all know how good Mosquera is, so I wasn't worried in the slightest about it. And people are going to say, yeah, of course you're talking in hindsight now, but I'm not. I did think that last night was going to be a very, very difficult game of football to play. Brentford are right up there, pushing for the European places and playing some really good football, especially at their place. So it was going to be really, really hard. But right at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it's one we should win here. It's one we should win. Sadly, it didn't work out that way, Ferg.
No, it didn't. Look, Brentford, especially Brentford at home, we all said even before the game, and I know we're a bit cock-a-hoot and we're all getting very excited, 6 points clear and everything else. But we said, look, this game and the Wolves game, although Wolves are probably dead and buried, are both going to be very, very difficult games. Midweek, we've got a lot of games, getting no rest whatsoever. And that's showing in the injuries that we've got there. But Brentford, they've only lost 2 games this season at home. You know, They're 7th in the league. They're in the European spots, ahead of some big, big names.
Yeah, they are indeed. You know, I did a vlog before and after the game last night. Thanks for the Arsenal fan up in Block 108 who told me to put my phone away and eat me curry, which was hilarious. Yeah, banter like that you don't mind, Ferg, do you? You know, it's
no, you don't. It's just a bit of fun. Listen, the elephant in the room for me was Eze. So the first half performance, there was nothing to write home about the first half. The second half was a great game for anybody to watch. My brother spoke to me and he said he watched the game last night. And from a neutral point of view, he thought the second half was great. It was end to end. What is going on with Eze? He had a great game against Tottenham in the North London derby at the Emirates. Then we saw him be substituted at Villa Park, where he was poor and couldn't keep his feet underneath him. And then he had a nondescript sort of performance in the first half.
Look, right. It's not just Eze, right? We've been having these over the last few weeks. We've had these performances where we look like we are just not going about our business. We came back and we beat Sunderland and Leeds handsomely. And I thought, oh, that's gone now. But it sort of came back last night. You know, it wasn't just Eze. Odegaard didn't look much when he came on. And we just seemed to be a level below where we have been. And then, of course, we scored a goal and we appeared to sit back. And, I can't put my finger on it, Ferg, but what I will say, and you know me, I stay positive. There's enough people on social media and putting their videos out on their channels today, absolutely tearing our team to bits, calling them all sorts of names. Well, They don't deserve that in my book. But what they do deserve is us fans being sensible about it and saying we weren't at our best last night, far from it. And I'll even go as far as to say, and it'd be interesting what people think in the chat, Ferg. I'll go as far as to say that the way we played last night isn't Premier League winning form. Now, I'm not overly concerned because I know we'll come back and play better, right? Right? But there are, Eze is one. You've mentioned Eze. He watched the first 45 minutes passing by last night. Odegaard wasn't much better when he came on.
I think he was a bit better than Eze, but he hasn't been great for a lot of games.
No, he hasn't. He's been struggling for some reason. And then the most baffling one for me last night, right? The most baffling one was we scored a goal. We've been ahead for a few minutes, and Arteta takes Madueke off and brings Saka on, right? Madueke was our shining light last night. We didn't, all right, yeah, he may want to get some minutes into Saka, I don't know. Or maybe Saka's back fully fit, but we didn't need to take Madueke off and put Saka on, in my view. And a minute after Saka came on, they scored. I'm not saying that that's linked, but yeah, I just couldn't see the point in that substitution. I really couldn't, mate.
The second half, we did liven up. 61 minutes in, Hincapie puts a great cross into Madueke. To be honest, I was watching in the pub, and you know what it's like watching in the pub. You don't really watch it properly because I had some other people talking to me, and it's all that sort of stuff. But I actually was looking, going, "Oh Christ, he scored an own goal." That's how much I was concentrating on the game. But watching it back, it was a really, really good header in Trevor.
Yeah. Oh, of course it was. Yeah, it was a great finish. I was really Noni, by the way. If someone could get a message to Noni, I'm not happy with him. Not happy with Madueke at all. When you score at our end of the ground, Noni Madueke, you don't run over to the other corner to the home fans. You come across to our corner.
I saw
so
that.
So we can show you our pleasure and pay our respects.
And you can get back on telly.
You what?
And you can get back on telly because you're on telly again when Rice has taken.
I couldn't give a toss about being on telly. My phone was going mental in my pocket, so I knew we were on there. Yeah. But no, Madueke scored a fine goal, and you're thinking, yeah, here we go now. This is it. We are now starting to play against a decent Brentford side, and then we just dropped off again. It was another strange performance. Another strange performance. You touched on it earlier, Fergan. I didn't know whether we should mention it or not. But you said to me about you've seen on social media, are they stopping playing because they're being overcoached from the touchline? It's non-stop for 95 minutes.
The comment was if they need to take a set piece coaches out. If they need to do something else, there's another coach out. Then Arteta's barking rules. Then Rice is overtaking instruction. You'll have Raya overtaking instruction. And this happens at the Emirates as well. And is it stopping the players to think for themselves and to express themselves? Wenger was the sort of complete opposite with the way he used to do. He used to go out and drill them beforehand and then just go enjoy your game. Yeah. Is Arteta's pragmatic, cautious, risk sort of style, is that impacting on our performance as players? Because we said, one of my comments it was in a private group. One of my comments was, I'd love to see the Saka Smith Rowe sort of football that we played 2-3 seasons ago, and we haven't seen it for a season and a half. We're winning games, we're top of the league, we're top in Europe, we're doing great in Europe, we're doing in all the cups. I'm not criticised. I'm just asking the question: is it something that's holding us back?
Well, look, it's hard. We can't really criticise Ferg. We're not criticising. We're giving opinions, right? Because you can't criticise a team that's 4 points clearing the league, by the way. 4, we didn't lose last night. And as Heath put in the comments, they're no mugs. Brentford, far from it, right? So it's hard to criticise, but we can give opinions. And yet maybe we are not being allowed to express ourselves, Gary says there, it's like football, too ponderous and too slow. There's no doubt in my mind that
Gary was in the same conversation because we're in the same group, so he knows the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ferg, there's no doubt in my mind that we sometimes have the ball and you think, come on, move it, and it goes sideways once or twice, and then with these Premier League sides, knowing how we play, one sideways pass and they've got 10 men behind the ball defending. The space doesn't last more than a blink of an eye, you know. And some of the greatest footballers I've ever seen were very spontaneous, you know, spur in a moment things they do, magical, and make a goal and score a goal. And I don't see that from the Arsenal at the moment. We look like we're just coach. We do this, we do that. Rice should have shot when he had a real good chance in the box,
and he laid it up to Gyökeres. Are they trying too hard to get Gyökeres into the game?
Mate, listen, we can forgive Rice, right?
Yeah,
we can forgive Rice because, trust me, if Rice gets injured, then things change. Because that boy carries that side at times, carries a side of international players up and down the field. Amazing. So, but anyway, folks, look, hang on a second.
We have to look at the positives, haven't we? Because as you said, and Heath in the comments said 4 points clear, and somebody else, Simon, said if this game was played last October, it would have been a great away point. I think I noted down Brentford. Where is it here? Brentford have a record. Brentford's record at home is the 1-7, drawn 4, and lost 2. So is it a point gained or 2 points dropped, beating the likes of Villa, Man United, Liverpool, and Newcastle at home, and only lost to Forest, which was a really strange one, and City. So, you know, we're taking a point. For me, you have to look at it as a point gained.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, it's a very important point because the step from 3 points to 4 points is massive, isn't it? It takes you beyond a win clear, you know. So that's massive. Yeah. So, of course, you can look at it as a point gain. But just going back towards where we say we sat back. But then we've just said that Brentford are a fine side. So did Brentford just get better, Ferg? Did they lift their game at home? Their fans got behind them and pushed themselves on?
Keith Andrews said in a pre-match press conference or an interview the day before that they just like to create chaos. And Arteta, in his post-match interview, said, we didn't control the chaos. Keith Andrews got the better of Arsenal by using his tactics. He used a combination of set plays, low block, counter-attacks, and tried to play a little bit of football without giving up too much football against Arsenal. We get the complete opposite with other teams like Man City when they came to the Emirates. I've used it as many examples. They came and looked like Stoke City and just surrendered all possession, let Arsenal play, and just put that low block. Brentford didn't try and do that. They had the outlet with Thiago, who's a great player. He's just been signed down to another 5-year contract, I think. And who was Lewis Potter as well? He was just an annoyance, to be honest. And they kept Gabriel and Mosquera really, really busy all half. You also had that Coyote, is it Coyote, with his long throw? He's more than a long throw sort of player, but he was really effective with that long throw. He'd be like 22 yards out, and he's able to get it right into the box. And we became victims of our own sort of style of football.
Yeah, but we didn't lose, and we're still 4 points clear. And I tell you what else, Ferg, and it's not sour grapes, it's just a fact. Sometimes you see them give them, sometimes you don't. I've not been able to watch the whole game back today. My playback isn't working on my system. And so I've only watched the briefest of highlights on the Arsenal player. And for me, Gabriel is fouled when they score their goal. He's absolutely battered. I don't know if you've seen it. The attack.
I have seen it
all over him. And
I think he was already up in the air, Trev. I think he was already up in the air, and Gabriel was down. It did look a bit like the Newcastle one that we talked about last season or whatever. But the Newcastle one, Gabriel was already jumping up and pushed down. Gabriel was crouching to go up, and that player was already up in the air and then just rested on him.
Yeah, but you do seem to give it no Ferg.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It looked bad. But anyway, look, that's enough about that, Ferg. I can't go on about this Brentford game. By the way, I had a lovely day with Kirk and Jason. Dragged me right off the wagon. They did drag me. Not only did they drag me off the wagon, They dragged me up the street by my short and curlies, mate. We were in the pub for about 2:00, and we were the only three in there at start, and then a few others started coming in, and it was a lovely evening in the pub. It was just a bit hard getting up this morning and doing the journey home, Ferg. But yeah, I had a lovely night. But come on, let's end it, Ferg, this game with 4 points clear. We've got to go to Wolves next week. We'll talk about that. But Ferg, do you remember Wolves at our place? No pushover.
Oh, we had that striker, Owen Joal, is it? Owen goal?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did indeed. We did indeed. But, at the and of course, last night, Raya made a couple of fine saves,
He did.
So,
and Martinelli could have nicked it, but yet again, Brentford could have nicked it. It was really an end-to-end game. And if you look at it on the grand scheme of things, I think Brentford were probably disappointed and couldn't push it that little bit further, and they'll feel like they dropped 2 points. So then, in my view, it's definitely a point gained.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get that. Absolutely get that. And we can't blame Martinelli at the end there. There was actually a couple of people in the crowd behind me shouting at Martinelli, not very nicely. When
it was a great save by Kelleher.
He gets an arm out and he hits his arm. Martinelli's got the ball above him, so it's not going to hit his body, and he sticks an arm out and it hits his arm. That happens. That's a great save. That's not a bad.
Kelleher's a great keeper. Plays for the Republic of Ireland as well, and he closed down Martinelli really well, and then, as you said, got that arm out. But the one thing that, and we are going to see it for a few more games. We talked about Rice and how he's been carrying the team, but it just shows yesterday and how Gyökeres wasn't as involved in play because of Eze's first half performances and later Odegaard missing Havertz. We just looked a different team without Havertz.
Oh, mate, listen, 100% we missed Havertz. He's only been back a couple of games. He's only played a couple of bit parts. But yeah, if Eze's not in that side last night and Havertz starts, completely different game of football. Completely different game of football. We missed the lad. We missed him badly last night.
Yeah, we want to do this in 45 minutes today. Yeah. We are always talking, and it's okay to talk. We do this every week, every show. It's okay to talk because we support Andy's Man Club. It's a man's suicide prevention charity. It's out there to help people if you're going through a storm or if you've just been through one. Sadly, I heard of a person who's taken their own life at one of my clients' business places last weekend. They couldn't open because they were found on the premises, not in the premises, on like the grounds of the premises. And it's somebody who just had really got to the end and taken a permanent decision to a temporary situation. So Monday nights, 7 till 9, go to andysmanclub.co.uk, check out your local ones, and just talk. Go get help if you need help.
Absolutely agree, Ferg. Couldn't have put it better. There's always help there. Listen, right, what we're going to do now for the next 10 or 15 minutes or so is I'm going to test Ferg on this weekend's FA Cup game.
And he's not giving me. I've got no notes, no nothing. So
and then I'm going. You don't need them. I'm going to try and tap into that one brain cell in there. You don't need notes. You don't need notes.
That's a headache today. That's been working hard.
We'll leave Arsenal v Wigan till last, and we'll talk about that. But I'm just going to pick a few out that I think there might be an upset. Tonight's game, Hull at home to Chelsea. Ferg, can Hull pull off a bit of a surprise?
I would say no, because Chelsea look like they seem to be a bit more organised under Rosinha. I know he makes a fool of himself sometimes and trying to be the big man on the camera and everything else. But no, I can't see that being an upset. I think Chelsea go through on that. What so the score is? Yeah, 3-0.
Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the score. I just want to know you think it's going to go through. Now then, possible big upset tomorrow. Possible massive upset tomorrow. Burton at home to West Ham. Your beloved, second beloved, West Ham. Burton Albion at home. I reckon Burton might get something out of this, Ferg.
You know what? I think I think with West Ham in the predicament they're in, they're on a fine form in the league. They look like they're dragging in Forest and Spurs into the battle for relegation, which is great to see. And I think I don't know. Do they want to keep going winning ways, or are they going to make some changes and maybe let the game slide a little and keep some of those players for the league battle? So Burton could get a result. It is away at Burton. It's going to be a completely different setup where Burton are League One, League Two. I can actually see Burton getting a result. It could be a 1-0 or whatever.
Wow. I never saw that coming. West Ham will go and smash him now. You watch. Let's find another one. Oh, possible upset here. Burnley at home to Mansfield Town.
Burnley are done and dusted, so they might want a cup run. So if I was the Burnley manager, there's no way they're staying up in the Premier League. Go out, have some fun, see if you can get a day out of Wembley.
Burnley then.
Yeah.
All right then. We'll leave that one. Oh, right. Look, right. Very, very local derby. The Minnows of Manchester City at home to the Giants of Salford. Right?
Come on, Salford. Come on, Salford.
At least having Salford there will probably boost their crowd numbers at Man City. You know what I mean? If nothing else, they'll get a few people in the door and there'll be an atmosphere, but the atmosphere will be coming from the Salford fans, not the City fans. But Salford can't win at getting anything at Man City, can they?
Man City's youth team will beat Salford. So, yeah, it's Man City gone through all the way.
Man City, let's have a look now. They're not worried about that one. Liverpool at home to Brighton, Ferg.
Again, Liverpool have nothing else really to play for, do they? So, a day at Wembley, it's got to be Liverpool. Trevor, you're going to have to talk for a minute. I forgot to do what I should have done before we pressed the mic. So,
yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll do the talking then, which is difficult to do tonight because I'm proper shattered. Voice went last night. Couldn't have given any more as a fan. All you can do is shout and scream for your side and give them your support. That's why we're called supporters, isn't it? So we all did our best there last night, but it wasn't to be. So Ferg's gone for Liverpool to beat Brighton. When he comes back, I'm going to ask him about Birmingham at home to Leeds, because there was a time when outside Birmingham would have been a war zone. Not many years ago now. I think hoping it might be a little bit more calm down and sensible now. But it'll be a great game, Birmingham against Leeds. I fancy Leeds to win at Birmingham. I reckon Ferg's going to go for a Birmingham win here. He's been listening, by the way.
Yeah,
he's been listening. So,
Birmingham Leeds still apparently is a war zone. My boss and a good friend of mine is I was going to say a Zulu. I don't want to get him in trouble. But no. That was just he's been going to Birmingham City since he was a kid. He grew up around that area in St Andrews and everything else. It will be a feisty battle. I think isn't that an earlier kickoff for police reasons as well?
It could be. I know it's on Sunday. I haven't looked at what time it is, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd love to see Birmingham win, just to do a bit of an upset, an away win for Birmingham.
No, it's a home win for Birmingham.
Home win for Birmingham. Oh yeah.
Okay, then you've gone for Birmingham. Now then, Grimsby Town v Wolves, right? Grimsby Town, don't forget, put Man United out of the Carabao Cup, albeit a different looking Man United side then. But they're at home to Wolves, who can't find a win for any money. I reckon Grimsby might get something out of this game, Ferg.
Well, I hope whatever happens, that Wolves get about 6 injuries because we play them on Wednesday. So I just want them to be as crocked as possible for Wednesday because we do need to get back to winning ways.
Yeah.
But again, Wolves are down and out. They're relegated. They've got no hope of probably getting promoted. Staying up in the league. Their manager, he is getting a tune out of them these days, which worries me for Wednesday. And I think, Wolves win that one.
Wolves win at Grimsby. Okay, I'm not quite so sure, but we'll see. Do a couple more before we move on to ours. Stoke. We don't like Stoke at home to Premier League Fulham, right? Stoke are not going too bad this year. Fulham have been a bit up and down. Didn't turn up at Man City last week, much to our annoyance. But Stoke at home to Fulham. Ferg?
Stoke at home is horrible. I've been there a few times, and they're not nice. They don't like anybody. They're horrible ground, horrible place. Fulham, they're too nice, aren't they? Really. I'd like to see Fulham progress, but I think it's going to be quite a hostile atmosphere for them. So I'm going to say Stoke win.
Stoke win. All right. Are we having any comments on the screen, Ferg, or are you not going to do your job?
I am doing it. I'm doing multiple things.
Oxford at home to Sunderland. We're going to whiz through these last couple. Oxford at home to Sunderland.
Oxford have got through. Sunderland concentrate in the league.
Oh, really? I've Sunderland are my new soft spot team. I like the fans. I like the players. I like the ground. Can't wait to go up there next year again and meet up with them all and have another few beers. Macclesfield at home to Brentford.
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah, me too. Right, okay then. The Arsenal. However much you may laugh at me for saying it, the mighty Arsenal. Because when you support your team's always mighty, right? The mighty Arsenal at home. On Sunday to Wigan. Wigan struggling badly in League One. Is it League One? Yeah.
The league's 22nd in League One.
Sacked their manager last week. Oh, I fancy an avalanche here, Ferg. An absolute avalanche here for the Arsenal.
Well, we haven't played them in a number of years. They spent 8 years consecutively in the Premier League from 2005 to 2013. They won the FA Cup, Wigan did in 2013 as well, and got relegated that year. We'll be without Darwin, Havertz, Marino. Saliba should hopefully be back because it was a tummy bug, I think. We've won, what was it, our last 6 FA Cup home fixtures, scoring 11 goals, conceding 9. I wouldn't like to see that we concede any goals against Wigan. My fear with Wigan is that there'll be quite a big physical. One of like the lower league sides are a lot more big and physical. There's no VAR in the FA Cup, so you don't have that to work in your favour. It works against you as well. But especially with some of the fouls and stuff, I worry about injuries against sides like this. But yeah. I would like to think that we would be cruising through this. I'd like to see a lot of changes. I'd like to see Norgard on. I'd like to see Salmon on. I'd like to see Mars Lewis Skelly on. And he said Maitland-Niles again. Kepa. Who would you have up top then, Trev? It's got to be Gyökeres.
Yeah, Gyökeres plays for me. But if the thing is, Ferg, right, the injuries are starting to show their heads again, aren't they? And it is a bit worrying. Odegaard's going to be out, as you said. Havertz is probably out. Marino is out for the rest of the season, we think. And they're key. And I'm starting to wonder, right? Norgard, for some reason, isn't getting much game time. There was no reason why Norgard couldn't have come on last night and maybe done things slightly differently in front of his old supporters. But then, I'm starting to think to myself, we've spoke about it at length. We don't need to go over it again about how we're not moving the ball forward quick enough. We're slow. We let teams get 10 men behind the ball before we start trying to beat them. Would Darwin have been getting any game time now, Fag? Because he certainly moved the ball quicker.
He probably, they've left. If Marino was available and you've got Madueke, you got Saka, Nwaneri, I know Nwaneri's on loan, but Nwaneri was struggling to get game time. I think Darwin and Nwaneri would have shared that limited amount of time that they both got. So I think one of them would have gone on loan for sure, which has happened. Yeah.
I mean, come on, we've mentioned it. I'm going to mention it again, right? And I make no apologies for it. Something needs to change in our transition, right? We need to take a chance and move the ball quicker from our midfield to our 2 up front if we're playing 2 up front, or our 4 up front, when the wide people push up. For me, something has got. We're not doing bad. As blah blah. Been all over it. We're top of everything. Top of everything. We're in a great position. Feel great. But that seems to be the one thing left that's holding us back. Is that we're not transitioning the ball. Who can we put in this side that might do that? Or is it like you said, none of them will do it because they're coached not to do it, Ferg?
Well, I think I'm starting to think that's the thought to be risk averse. You know, like we saw yesterday, and we see it in many games. Yesterday, we went 1-0 up at 61 minutes with 30 plus minutes to go, and we looked like we made some tactical changes and substitutions that meant that we sat back and went a bit deeper. We've seen it game after game after game. When Gyökeres comes off for 20 minutes to go, the team drops back, we concede. So it does worry me that like Wigan, as bad as they may be in the league, in the FA Cup, they've won the last 6 FA Cup away games. So, you know, they're no mugs. They've got a full side as well. They've got no injuries whatsoever. So they've got all their players available to them. And with a new manager, we worry about new manager bounces, and we'll talk about new managers in a minute.
Yeah, so who knows? It's in the chat, you know, we're saying Irish Mick there, yeah, we need someone to beat a man. Unfortunately, we still need a natural finisher for tap-ins. Well, I half agree with you, Mick, mate. I half agree with you in that we do need someone to beat a man, especially when Saka's not been doing it. And he's took Nonu off, Madueke off, who is about the only one that has been doing it out wide.
Madueke.
So we need to do something, but we have got a man for the tap-ins. I think Victor's got the tap-ins.
Right? If he gets the right service, he gets the tap-ins. Yes, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've not been able to watch it all back, but I saw a comment in social media today that they thought that Gyökeres ran his socks off again and didn't get fed the ball last night. Can't really comment because I've not, as I said,
he got that ball that Rice should have taken a shot on, but he also tried to put one in. He put Timber in, I think, for one. And then came round, and that's when Martinelli had that save. So he was quite bright in the game. I thought he played quite well. But he hasn't got Havertz going back there and picking the ball up and bringing it up to him. He's had to go down and do some of his own work.
We did miss Havertz. Well, I never thought I'd say that. But anyway, look, right, it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna hammer Wigan. Yeah, Jesus will probably start, won't he? I see a comment there. I can't see it now, Ferg. Jesus will probably start against Wigan. Yeah, should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. Ferg, who's this new Tottenham manager? And what's his name again?
Igor Tudor.
Tudor. Right. If there's any Tottenham fans watching, right? I don't know if Bad Ronnie's in the house. I've got Igor Tudor's silver membership ready. Just tell him to come and see me and pick it up from me. I've done his card.
Look who was waiting at the very beginning before when the show started. And we were going to do a poll. Do we block Bad Ronnie, or do we keep him here for the banter?
We keep your idea. He's not that bad. We keep Bad Ronnie, I say. Vote for Bad Ronnie. He's having life hard enough as it is at the moment.
So Igor Tudor, 2015, sacked from PAOK due to unsuccessful results and raging comments about the quality of the team. 2015, sacked from Galatasaray after 10 months. 2018, sacked by Udinese after 6 weeks. 2018, rehired by Udinese and then sacked again 7 months later. 2020, sacked as Juventus assistant coach after 1 year. Then 2022, sacked by Helva Veron. This isn't. Hang on, sacked by Helva Veron. It's just.
You done?
Nearly. And then he was sacked by Juventus. He's sacked by Lazio. He's sacked by everybody, and his record is just perfect for Spurs. He will achieve what he needs to achieve. He won't have silver membership, Trevor. He will have platinum membership. If he takes that team down, he's having a platinum membership.
Look, right. Yeah. Ferg, we've spoken about him for too long now. But to be honest with you, mate, if I was a top class manager, or if I was managing a championship side and we're doing okay, and Tottenham came to me and said, "Do you want to be our manager?" I'd look at their record and I would genuinely say, "No, thank you. I'll stay where I am." They destroy managerial careers for fun. Tottenham destroy managerial careers for fun, and I wouldn't want to go there. Not for all the tea in China, mate.
The problem is they want Mauricio Pochettino back, don't they? After the World Cup is what the big rumours are. If they're in the Championship, I doubt if he'll come back. If they do go into the Championship, they have got apparently no relegation clauses built into contracts. They've got the American football, the F1, and all the concerts that go on in the stadium will probably keep them in some sort of cash flow. But there's no money in the Championship. Could you imagine that 61,000 stadium seater stadium in the Championship? Wow. It'll be half empty.
Do you know what, Ferg? You've hit a subject there that I was talking about today, and just thinking about talking to Will on our chat. You're looking at all these games nowadays, right? You look at Tottenham the other night, that they're fighting relegation. The ground's got thousands of empty seats in. You look at Man City; they've got thousands of empty seats, and they're pressing for another Premier League. And it's not just them two teams. There's loads of other teams that have got empty seats in. Has it finally come to light that the Premier League has priced itself out of fans, folks?
I don't think it's just the Premier League. Like we had in our WhatsApp group, the Welsh rugby side are struggling to sell out. There's in some of the games in the Principality Stadium, there'll be like 15,000 empty seats for Six Nation games, because they're like about an average £100 a ticket. I think people just are finding it expensive. The Premier League as well. If we look at the Premier League itself, the likes of City, when they're extending their stadium by 5,000. No extra season ticket holders. The season ticket waiting list has been quashed, and there will be no new season tickets, I believe. Anybody who surrenders a season ticket, that will be turned into a pay-as-you-go seat. Chelsea have got their own, through that Tom Bowley, they've got their own ticket company that sells tickets similar to like a reseller place. So they'll get a £100 ticket that's at the bridge and sell it for £300 or £400 to a tourist. That's all they want. They want people to walk in with bags of merch, half and halfers. That's what they all the teams want.
They want, they just want money, and they want money at the cost to us working class match going fans. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. You know, I read about a Man United fan the other day. I think I've not got the exact cost here, but it was something along the lines of, he couldn't go to a game, so he has to sell his ticket back to the club. He can't transfer it to a friend like we do and let a friend go. He has to sell it back to the club, and I think he got £43 for his ticket, selling it back to the club, and they sold it as corporate for over £300. Shameless.
Yes, I saw that.
Absolutely shameless. And it doesn't matter what the likes of you and me say. We can kick off about it till we're blue in the teeth, fag. Our football clubs, including our own, couldn't give a damn.
Well, I had an example. Money. Joseph had a ticket for the Sunderland game and he couldn't go. I paid it on his junior gunner. It was like £15 something. I said, okay, if you can't go, I'll just sell it back to the club, because we didn't have any juniors that were going within our group that we could transfer it across to. And I got £14 back for it, but that ticket will be sold as a full adult ticket, because on the exchange it's just a seat empty. So you know they've capitalized on that as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? Right, the point that really grates with me with the Man United example, Ferg, is not the fact that the bloke's got his money back, right? So the club can do what they want with the seat. Let's right. But to go as far as to say you can't transfer your seat to another mate for the £43, that's the bit that grates me. Because there's so many really good fans out there. The only way they're going to ever get a ticket is if they get one off of the likes of us transferred to them, right? And the club's thinking, oh no, I want, just like I said, opportunity to make money, more money. So they take it back and sell it like that. And that really grates me. But it's what it is. As long as we keep going, they'll keep doing it, and there's not a lot we can do. It's a vicious circle, and we're stuck right in the middle of all of it. Ferg, listen, right? I've loved this chat with you tonight. We've been very serious. We've unashamedly called the Arsenal out for some of their things. But at the end of the day, we must remember, people out there remember, because Ferg and myself, we already know, we are Arsenal fans. We'll never go any heavy on our club. We'll say it as it is, with no dramatics, no threats, no wanting clicks, right? We'll just say it as it is, and that's what we're doing. That, I'm sorry if I've upset some people again with my videos, but that is why I do them, because I try and give an honest opinion and not a dramatic click searching opinion, because I think it's only right that that the other side should be seen. Ferg, people out there, if you want to click on a QR code that's going to magically appear at the top of the screen now, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, if you can click on there, that mean you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe, whatever they call it. Gives us a chance to do more stuff. We don't earn any money, but it gives us a chance to do more edit. We have more editorial prowess. How's that?
We have reached 1,500 subscribers as well on YouTube.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. We'll be back on Monday. Fergus and myself, and I don't know if anyone else is joining us. I will be feeling much better on Monday than I will.
Should I press that button?
Press the button, Ferg.
I still love that when they turn the music down. Listen, Ronnie Lamb was in the chat, and he's thanking for his show. Ronnie hadn't been feeling well, so we're just wishing you well, Ron. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, Ferg. Yeah, absolutely, Ronnie. We love you, Ronnie, mate. You get better. I'm going to sow a seed now. We're not going to talk about it tonight, people, but our good friend Damsek Kev has just put a comment on here, and it's something that is really, really seriously important, I think, in that the hidden issue is the ever increasing player and agent wages. And is it an issue now? We've got agents earning millions and millions, I believe, from players, just being there as a voice.
There's not just one agent involved, Trev. There's several. Like, might be 10 agents involved in one. Yeah.
When you put the S on the end of a word, that means
no. I'm talking about if Madueke's been sold from Chelsea to Arsenal, there might be 10 agents involved. One agent is coming along talking to Chelsea, another agent's talking to Arsenal, and they're talking to. There's loads. It's unreal. Yeah.
I think it's one definitely for a conversation, because at the end of the day, it doesn't help us getting our tickets to the game. Sometimes I wish my Uncle Pat, God bless him. Sometimes I just wish he took me to a 4th division team. And then I'd have had an easy life now with my feet up, probably giving you Arsenal fans a stick that we all get now. But no, couldn't do it. Couldn't be without our Arsenal, could we? Ferg, thank you for tonight, mate. I'm going to leave you to close it because my voice is going.
Yeah, it's not been our usual upbeat sort of show because there was stuff to be talked about and challenged, and obviously started with the sad news about Sheila and Lulu, and Topper takes a bit of the wind out of yourselves throughout it. But listen, we're a community, we're a fan base, not only on social media and in the stadiums, but also here on Guns and Yellow Ribbons. We are Arsenal fans. This show is by Arsenal fans, for Arsenal fans. Thank you very, very much to all of you who've watched tonight. We'll be back on Monday at 7 o'clock. Up the Arsenal, Fox Spurs, Ego Tudor.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans, for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.